Oh, hello, Awake TV family. How are you all doing? Happy Monday. It is an absolute gift to be able to come to you at this time. I love that we have this time to make for spirit and to really slow down and take care of ourselves on a spiritual level. Literally because we don't have the freedom to do anything else right now. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Chris Alicia. This is Intentionality, Unraveling the Secrets of the Universe. And intentionality focuses on understanding the blueprint of the universe. Now, everything in the universe, from the smallest molecule to the largest atom, has a divine blueprint. It was made for a purpose. And if you start to look for patterns, if you start to look for commonalities, you start to see that blueprint. And it's like looking behind the veil. You start to see the pattern of life. You start to get a glimpse into the bigger picture of why we are here as humans, what we have to do in each life, why we go through the things that we do, why we're built the way that we are. Intentionality means living your life as a divine being with a purpose. So this season, season 2, we've been talking all about the ascension process. So the 7 universal keys to ascension is what I'm calling this. This is a re-engineered version of spirituality by taking different ancient texts from ascended masters and just massive thinkers and ascended beings from across the planet and looking at their ascension processes, the ascension processes that they taught their followers. I was able to see commonalities across the world, across time, across cultures that should not be there unless what they're saying is true. So if Buddha taught his followers one thing and Mary Magdalene taught the exact same thing, maybe we want to pay attention to what they're saying. So the 7 universal keys have come from 5 different traditions of information, 7 different ways that we ascend in our body, our mind, and our soul. So this week, we're going to be kicking off with step 5, I am truth. But before we do that, please, you've got comment section below the video. If you're a subscriber, let me know where you're coming from. Let me know if you have any questions. I try to check in with the post every half an hour or so, and I will answer your questions. If you're seeing this later and you have questions, that's cool. I will get back to you, I promise. So, step 5, I am truth. What happens in step 5 versus all the other steps of the ascension process is step 5 is the first purely spiritual step. All the other steps have been in the lower energies, the earth energies. So step 1 through 3 that correspond with the first 3 chakras is all the earth energy. That's where we're getting rid of our ego. We're getting rid of our irrational fears and emotions. We're honoring who and what we are and standing in our power as humans. Now in step 4, which is really the bridge step, that's the heart. The heart acts as a bridge between those lower energies and the upper energies, the purely spiritual energies. So step 5 is our first time stepping into a purely spiritual stage of ascension. This is the stage where we embrace not just who we are as humans, but who we are as souls. Now, it's such a subtle, distinction between honoring yourself as Chris and honoring myself as a divine being. When I say I am proud of who I am, I'm proud of what I've gone through, I'm proud of the things that I've accomplished, I'm proud of my ability to love. These are all earth energies. Now, when I start saying that I am proud to be a divine being, I am proud to have chosen to come to earth at this time, I am proud to have a divine mission, I am energized and eager to embody that mission, those are the upper energies. So embodying your light being and standing in your power as a being of light. That's the distinction between the lower energies and the upper energies. Because that's the truth of who we are. And that's why this week is called I Am Truth. It is all about embracing the fact that this body is not even 10% of who and what you are. It is a casing, it's a vessel, it's a divine vessel. We take care of it, but it's not who we are. So when you reach step 5, that is when those lessons that you've been learning in step 1 through 4 become more permanent. It becomes your way of life versus I can release my ego this moment, but I know in 10 minutes I'm going to be right back in an ego place. This is when that transition becomes less painful because you've gone over the bridge. You've gone through heart now. You're seeing and feeling and living in your heart, which allows you to step out of that ego and really live in a totally, totally different place. So I am very excited to share more details on what you're going to be learning today from Mary Magdalene, Buddha, Alchemy, Metaphysics, and of course the Vedas. And peaceful and happy would your life be? An incredible, incredible step. So what does this all mean? This truth, this I am truth, is truth on a totally different level. And I'm just trying to bring up my comment section here real fast, so forgive me. When you look at Mary Magdalene's teachings, what she's talking about with leaving the body, the kingdom of the flesh, is very much in line with what the spiritual ascension, the metaphysical side, is talking about by embracing your higher self. So you're no longer a physical being. You're no longer trapped inside of your body because you realize you're more. You are merging with your higher self. You're not just calling into your higher self. You're not even just connecting with it. You're merged with it. It is a way to free the body completely, which feeds into what they talk about with the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is not just speaking the truth. This is living your true self. This is embracing your divine self, speaking as if you're divine, living as if you're divine, and receiving other people's information as if they are divine. It feeds right back into that. Our fear, which makes us conform what we say, to assimilate into different situations, to hide the truth, to minimize who and what we are. That is lower energies. That's the kingdom of the flesh. Once we release that kingdom of the flesh, we now reach a new level, which is Buddha's relaxation. His relaxation comes from removing that physical belief. Of course, you're going to find your mind and your body more calm when you embrace the fact that you are a soul. When you embrace and merge with your higher self, you can speak your truth, which allows you to be more calm, more relaxed at all times. You're calming your mind, your body, and your soul. Now, how this fits into alchemy with fermentation, this is the death and rebirth. Think of the death as the physical death of the body, whether it's in this incarnation or when you actually die and pass to the next life. We go through a death and rebirth. That's what this entire step is about, a death of the flesh, to be reborn as the higher self. All 5 of these different traditions are saying the same thing. This is the step where you have to release the mortality. Release your belief in mortality. Let that putrefy by acknowledging it, by honoring it, and then be reborn into something new, like the phoenix. Right, so this is when you have already finished all that hard work with ego. You have done what you needed to do to get to a point where you live your higher purpose. So you don't need to do anymore. You don't need to achieve or accomplish or be. This is the stage where you just are. You are pure. You are something new. You want for nothing. So the earlier stages where we're really trapped in the body, a good way to remember how these steps work is, again, you're working your way up from a physical being, almost like evolution, very much like evolution. And you're getting to the heart, which is the bridge. The heart is what is going to release you to have this death and rebirth. Once you start living through your heart, once you start thinking through your heart and feeling through your heart, the physical stuff that has been very confusing and very painful starts to filter away, because you realize that's not real. That's ego. That's the ego in the mind telling you that you should be in pain, that you should be scared, that, oh, well, there's no way this is going to work out for you. The heart knows better. Like, well, screw that. Push that aside. We're in the heart. So we've released that fear, and now we're getting to step 5, where we are reborn into something pure. The heart acts like a portal to rocket us into spirit. If you think about what's happening on the planet right now, Gaia is going through her death and rebirth. All the pollution, all the extreme weather changes, the overpopulation, everything that is happening on the planet right now is almost Gaia's putrefaction. She is decomposing the material body that she has so that she can be reborn, fermented into a new pure essence of who and what she is, which is closer to her truth. Every step gets you closer to the truth. So she is no more physical than we are. So she is going through her death and her rebirth. And the benefit of going through this stage, not just on the spiritual level, but on a mental level, that calmness, that acceptance that comes from realizing you're a soul, and that what's happening around you is no more real than what you see on television. You're releasing fears. You're releasing all those chains that weighed you down. You no longer judge. You no longer care if you're judged. Your soul is pure. It is where it needs to be. And every step after this is just about finding your gifts and your power and serving your divine mission. This is where you embrace and embody your higher self, so that the rest of the world just doesn't have the same meaning that it did before. This is why the throat chakra's saying is, I express. You're expressing yourself as a higher being. You're unleashing the power of spirit on the world when you reach this step. Because that spirit, that light doesn't stay within you. Your higher self isn't going to stay contained within this vessel because it doesn't need to. So everything around you is going to be affected by this step as well. And every time you embrace this step, even if it's only for a moment, if you do fall back down and you get distracted again, you're going to remember what it felt like to be in step 5, your higher self, and you're going to be able to pull yourself back up. And you're going to watch it start to raise the people around you, because they will have no choice. They're going to be affected by this energy because it's going to be expressed from every pore of this vessel. It's going to be expressed on a subconscious level, on an energy level, on a magnetic level. It's feeding the quantum grid. It's feeding Gaia, who is also going through this change. And again, as her body shifts in her death and rebirth, we are absolutely going to be affected by that as well, as she embraces her higher self. So an incredibly, incredibly powerful step, passing through the dark night of the soul. So how do you embrace this? How do you embody that? I've got some exercises that I want to show you that will help you understand this. So next week, we are going to be talking about step 6. We've only got 2 more steps left. This step is I am divine. So I am divine is very much when we start getting into our spiritual gifts, our intuition, our ability to receive information. When we start creating on this new life that we've just born, this new life is ready to open up. It's a whole new world of experiences where we're connected to spirit and love in a brand new way. So that will be next week when we learn how to jump into the flow of spirit and live in that energy, that divine energy, our divine energy, because it belongs to you. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can give it to you. It's innately yours. And in step 6, we start really embracing that higher consciousness and that connection. So please join me next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for step 6. I've got a lot of classes going on right now through Facebook Live and through Zoom. So if you're interested in learning dream interpretation, understanding your life purpose using Edgar Cayce's techniques, diving into these 7 steps in one-on-one mentorship or in a group setting, please reach out to me. I have many courses set to help you customize your own spiritual journey. The spiritual journey is not one size fits all. Everybody has their strengths. Everybody has things that they naturally lean towards. For me, it's codes, it's patterns, it's seeing the commonalities of things. So if you're interested in getting help to find your path, to develop steps for your spiritual growth, please reach out to me on Intentionality on Facebook, or going to my website, which is www.intentionality.com. Contact me via email at chrisalicia@intentionality.com, or hit me up on Facebook at chrisalicia. Please join me in any of my free classes. You want to do a one-on-one dream interpretation class to see what the symbols and the images that are coming to you mean for your life. I would love to work with you. So until next week, be kind to yourself, be good to those around you, love and light, stay strong, stay healthy, stay in your higher self.